Let's talk about Pachira propagation and an update after 1 year. Hi everyone, I'm Anna. Welcome to this channel. I help you grow beautiful and healthy plants, and as so many of you like money tree, Pachira aquatica, I decided to give you another update after 1 year, after my propagation basically. So last year I made 2 cuttings from my bigger Pachira trees, and if you know, I have 2 or 3 actually. So I cut the tips and I propagated my Pachira aquatica in water. The whole process took quite long, I think 2 or 3 months, until I really had decent length for the roots to plant them. And by the way, I also have already another update how they were growing, but I wanted to make another update for you after 1 year so that you see that this is the growth, this is how much it grew, and nothing went wrong. Thanks God, right? We always very hopeful that our propagations would work. And even in the video when I was doing the propagation, I told you, you know what, if you want 2 plants, make sure you make like 5-6 cuttings. And I didn't really have a hope that out of 2 cuttings I would have both growing, especially that I did it in autumn or even end of winter, I believe. But basically what I did, I didn't use any hormones, any other product that would help with the root rot. I just cut the tips, I put them in water. By the way, I will also link the video here if you would like to go back and check that video out. So I just cut the tips. It was, I believe, 1.5 to 2 meters tall. And I planted these cuttings in the soil right after they had quite long roots, I would say 10 centimeters or even more. I would like to talk about the soil because these plants are still in the same soil that I planted them. Of course, after 1 year, you wouldn't really repot them twice a year, right? So I planted them in the soil, which is from Sabotanica. They have potting mixes for Hoyas, for anthuriums, for succulents. By the way, if you would like to check their soil out, also I have a link with a discount again in the description of this video. You can have a look at that. But what I want to say is that the soil is really light, chunky. It has even some bark in it, some perlite, but bark is not necessary for this plant. So I just planted what I had at the time, and it worked pretty well, as you can see. But what I want to tell you, so these are now quite long compared to the previous video that I made for you, but so these 2 cuttings were more or less the same size, the same height, but one was a bit thicker, stronger, and one was thinner. And look what happened. So this one is basically so tall, but the other one is right here, so short. So basically we have here 2 cuttings, and one is obviously a dominant one. This one is growing much faster, stronger, as you can see. This one is still growing, but it's kind of falling behind, and I'm sure that this is because the roots are much stronger and they take more of the nutrients of the water. Basically the leftovers go to this smaller one, but both of them are growing pretty nicely, and where I grow them is quite bright place, I would say. Sometimes for an hour maybe they would see some sun, but to be honest, where I live in winter we don't have that much sun at all. So there are days that it's bright, but they don't see the direct sun falling on them, or even if that's the case, it will be maximum 1 hour, 1.5 hours, not really much. When I water them, this is very interesting thing, because in spring, in summer, I water them quite often, sometimes in this kind of clay pot, where we know that in clay pots the soil gets dry quicker than, for example, in ceramic pots, in plastic pots. And yes, in summer, in spring even, I may water them even every day, because this chunky soil gets dry almost every day, maybe once in 2 days. But in winter I would water them once a week, or once maybe in 10 days even, to be honest. Nothing happened to this plant. No matter how I watered, when I watered, it seems to be pretty fine. By the way, the clay pot is so white because of the maybe salt or other minerals from the water, because I use just tap water. This tap water stays in a bottle without the cap, So basically in an open jar for 1 or 2 days, and then I water with this water. So I don't use any fertilizers in this case, and it seems it's growing pretty nicely. But at this point, if you have this kind of plant in this tiny pot, if you know that it's already growing for a year here, definitely repot it, because then you will see that your plant will be thriving, will be growing faster, because you will have more space for the roots to develop and they will be stronger. Again, the pot size should be just a little bit bigger, so don't take after such a small pot, let's say a big pot, because in this case also, if there are no roots in the soil and you water them, the soil will be basically staying wet for a longer time. This may harm the roots, you may face root rot, all these problems that come with it, drooping leaves, yellowing leaves, brown leaves, spots on the leaves, all of these problems. So you don't want that. So repotting, again, use very light soil and grow them in a very bright area, maybe not under direct sunlight, and use the pot that is a little bit bigger. So basically increase the size of the pot step by step. So if you have any questions about propagation, and I know you do because under my other video there are a lot of questions, and maybe I should actually record a video just about questions, just about Pachira aquatica money tree, because I'm so sorry, I can't answer all the questions. It will take me really days to do it. But I would like to, of course, help you grow beautiful plants and at the same time learn about your experience, because it's all the result of learning, right? And if I do some things this year, maybe next year, based on my learning from this year, I will do something else differently. And of course, I will share it with you as always. If you would like any specific video about money tree, please also write that in the comments, because I will definitely make sure to record a new video for you. And until then, stay patient about plants, and I will see you in the next one. If you watched until now, if you will be interested in one of my courses about growing houseplants, please check the description of this video, because there I have a link for you so that you can get my course and grow plants better. And I hope that will be useful for you and you will have more success with growing houseplants at home. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you have already some experience with growing plants.